Well, hello. Welcome to Truth or Two. It's Mad AM Mystic Skywatcher. It's October 3rd, 2021. I promised you guys on my other channel that I would come over here and actually show you some information that I thought was very important to share about the effects of RX industry and the effects of chemicals that they prescribe in the FDA.
June 20th, 2020, 6 p.m., North Metro Atlanta. Again, proof that the sun simulator
exists. Here we go. Here's the sun. The old simulator, the old white sun. And then these are reflecting off of the windows up here. So that's proof that the simulator exists with the blades of the white simulator LED bulbs up in the sky, lower than our sun in our atmosphere. The sun simulator right there. Proof.
All right, I was testing that out. This is a new little countdown there of a video. So, yeah, that was one of my videos, guys. And now I'm going to, what's up, Debbie and Sue? You did get the notifications. That's what I was wondering. So that's good news. Okay, let's check this video out from New York Times. If I get a copyright strike or I get kicked off, you'll know why. Because I shouldn't, I don't know if I can use this. But I'm going to try because it's very important you guys see this. This is horrific.
Afternoon. I have several announcements. Every doctor, every hospital, every nurse have been notified. Every woman in this country must be aware that it's most important that they check their medicine cabinet and that they do not take this drug.
In the early 1960s, no drug struck more fear into the hearts of pregnant women.
One of the most horrifying episodes in medical history.
Than thalidomide. It changed our relationship with the drugs we use.
One reason U.S. drug laws are so strict, thalidomide.
And became an example of what many saw as corporate greed at its worst.
British thalidomide children so far have not received any compensation from the rich company that made the drug which crippled them so brutally.
But this dark chapter is only part of thalidomide's enigmatic story, one that continues to reverberate today.
I had used up every other alternative when I took thalidomide.
In 1960, a new wonder drug was slated to arrive on American shores, a sedative that was said to also treat a range of other ills.
A hypnotic, as the doctors call it, that was the answer to a prayer. Its generic name was thalidomide.
The hallmark defining quality of thalidomide was its safety. So safe that in Germany there was no prescription needed.
The German company that developed thalidomide, Chemie Grunenthal, claimed that even pregnant women could take it.
The drug company had handed out samples of this drug all over the place, starting with employees of its own company. On Christmas Day in 1956, a baby girl
to thalidomide, which soon sold nearly as well as aspirin in some European countries.
We received it in quantities like 1,000 pills. There was tremendous pressure all over the world to get this wonderful new drug on the market.
They had 2 million tablets ready to go the moment the FDA approved the drug, which was almost a foregone conclusion, until one doctor came along and began working at the FDA.
It just so happened that my first application was for the drug thalidomide. I got this because I was new and they thought I should have an easy one to start on.
But Dr. Kelsey was uneasy with what she saw as the lack of rigorous scientific studies and the slipshod presentation of safety data provided by Grunenthal and William S. Merrill, the U.S. distributor of the drug.
The best thing that could be said about thalidomide at the time was simply that you could not kill a rat, no matter how much thalidomide the rat ate.
With thalidomide being prescribed for morning sickness in other countries, Kelsey became particularly concerned with what effect it might have on a developing fetus. In June of 1961, an article appeared promoting its safety during late pregnancy.
It was allegedly written by a Dr. Ray Nolson, but in fact, the article was written by the medical director of the drug company.
About 6 months later, long-ignored evidence became public in Germany, linking thalidomide to a rash of birth defects. Although hundreds of thousands of pre-market samples had been provided to American doctors, Dr. Kelsey's stubborn delay of the drug's approval for more than a year had prevented a similar scale of tragedy from unfolding in the United States.
Dr. Kelsey was absolutely a unique hero in American history.
But thalidomide's reach continued to be felt across the rest of the world, including in Trinidad and Tobago, where Giselle Cole was born.
When I came along, I'm a firstborn, and they were a young married couple. I mean, I was never unloved or not wanted or anything like that. But I would be foolish to think that it was easy for them. My disability is, the official term is phocomelia, coming from the Greek meaning shorter arms or flipper-like. I think people always expect that I would have been angry, and I'm certainly not angry and never have been.
Long discussed but seldom implemented, major regulatory reforms were finally forced on the pharmaceutical industry following the thalidomide scandal.
For some time, President Kennedy has tried to get Congress to approve new controls, but without much success. Now, with the thalidomide scare, most of the opposition has melted.
Largely the same FDA guidelines that we live under today were created in immediate wake.
These regulations were too late for thalidomide's thousands of surviving victims across the world, who soon became the story.
Philippa Bradbourne is one example. Her mother rejected her.
10-year-old Carl Davies leads a relatively normal life for a boy without arms.
Another young mother, her husband, her sister, and her doctor are charged with the mercy killing of her deformed infant.
I'm one of the lucky ones in that my parents were adamant that I was their daughter, and their daughter first before anything else, and it was treated as such. Many were put in homes because they just didn't know what to do. Some families battled with doctors to have amputation of fingers and toes and whatnot to accommodate these prosthetics. Many families were broken irrevocably.
Instead of quickly settling, the drug companies dug in, with Grunenthal originally arguing that the children's deformities were caused by everything from nuclear fallout to botched home abortions. Anything but thalidomide.
It was a very long and difficult process.
Most cases were eventually settled, but litigation continues, with some survivors saying the original settlements cannot cover the cost of their specialized care. Grunenthal didn't apologize to its victims until 2012, 50 years after the tragedy unfolded.
They issued a statement saying that it has taken them the 50 years to come forward to say anything because they were shocked. They don't have a right to be shocked. The shock doesn't belong to them.
Despite all that thalidomide's victims endured over the decades, they could long take solace in one simple fact.
Thalidomide is now banned everywhere.
The now banned thalidomide.
The drug was banned in 1962.
And I would have liked to have seen it never used again.
There's a tremendous amount of luck in science. It's almost like an Easter egg hunt.
In 1992, while conducting research into macular degeneration,
I do want to stop the video there because when he said it's like an Easter egg hunt, if you know the symbolism behind the Easter egg and the Eastern Star, it's the Eastern Star. This is Germans making this this RX right here, this pharma brought to everybody. They drug the children with this evil shit. Yep. It was done to my mother. They were drugging her at a young age with it. Yeah, They drugged a lot of children, but imagine all the pregnant women that didn't know. I cannot believe this. This was something eye-opener to me because I had no idea this ever existed. And I know how evil the pharmaceutical companies are. That's why I'm a very holistic person. I'm a holistic person. So, yeah, it's just not natural.
Ophthalmologist Robert D'Amato began his own hunt, this one to find a pill that might restrict blood vessel growth.
I started searching for drugs that cause some sort of damage to a fetus, a birth defect, and at the top of this list was thalidomide.
Although thalidomide had been banned around the world, unbeknownst to many, the drug was later made available for limited humanitarian use, thanks to a chance discovery.
In 1964, a doctor in Jerusalem was taking care of a patient who had such severe leprosy that he was in pain and couldn't sleep. He decided to treat the patient with thalidomide to see if it would help with the sleep, and began to notice that there was also improvements generally in the leprosy.
After much trial and error, Dr. D'Amato finally had a similar breakthrough when he demonstrated that thalidomide could starve blood flow to cells, a discovery that held the potential for treating cancerous tumors.
The people that really understood the results were excited because we had a tool that we didn't have before. But the knee-jerk reaction was, this is a dangerous drug, no one would ever want to use it. There was thousands of victims that still remain. There had been a promise that thalidomide would never be developed again.
We had to make a decision what position we were going to take. Many would have thought and expected that we would have been
but we realize that this is not a perfect world.
Thalidomide is back. The Food and Drug Administration says thalidomide will be the most restricted drug ever distributed.
Female patients taking the drug will even have to submit to pregnancy tests.
Since then, thalidomide has gone on to combat a surprising variety of diseases, from tuberculosis and Crohn's disease to multiple sclerosis and symptoms of HIV and AIDS. And D'Amato's hunch about the drug's effect on cancerous tumors paid off in a groundbreaking treatment for certain types of the disease.
Thalidomide and its derivatives have become the primary treatment for multiple myeloma.
It's a very fine line that I walk, and many of us walk, when we think about thalidomide in today's world. Clearly, you can see what it has done to the thousands of us who are still on this earth. But if it provides some kind of assistance, help, relief of suffering, then I cannot, in good conscience, be opposed.
Brenner, who saw thalidomide's curative powers firsthand after being prescribed it for a deadly skin disease, says that the drug's circuitous history tells us a great deal about the accidental nature of drug discovery.
It's kind of surprising, I think, to most people to learn that drugs are, in fact, developed and then become, as they're called, a drug in search of a disease.
When you have a drug that has a powerful activity, whether it's negative or not, that powerful activity could be used for something good if you could figure out what that was.
But for all its benefits, the scientific rehabilitation of thalidomide has come with a heavy cost.
We were told this could never happen again.
In Brazil, where the drug is used extensively to treat leprosy, researchers report that thalidomide children continue to be born, as many as 100 since 2005 by one recent estimate.
50 years down the road, I would like to think that there's no such thing as thalidomide, that we have created something, we have developed something that would allow us to bury thalidomide. Literally. Destroy it. Get rid of it. So that there are no further discussions other than a note in history.
Oops, guys, I just closed out the window I was about to show you. So let me share with you this. Morgellons. Okay, I just got done signing the petition for Morgellons. It has one more to the CDC and the president criminal in charge. 1 million signatures the Morgellons petition received. And there's still room for more signatures here. So let me share this video really quick, and I'm going to find that video. I just accidentally closed out. Let's watch this.
Petition needs 1 million signatures! We're going to send this letter to Joe Biden and the Congress and the CDC and say, hey, you got to take care of Morgellons.
Yeah, this is a great day for Morgellons Nation's largest official petition for Morgellons in history. It has reached 1 million signatures. And we couldn't have done it without you guys.
Okay, so, wow, that was really loud. Sorry about that. But we are the champions. Well, hopefully it's getting somewhere. Hopefully this is just not another PSYOP and it's another opium type of deal. Here we go. Let's see. This is a petition. Or no. That would be sharing the wrong one. Hold on. I wanted to share with you one more video about the FDA, I believe. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, wrong one again. Let me get rid of that. I want to show you the link. Well, okay, here. Basically, this is the link. If you guys are interested in helping Morgellons sufferers and getting the truth out there, here's the Morgellons petition in chat. Thank you. And for being patient. Well, let me find out where my last there mind altering. Okay, here we go. So let me share this video. And then I'm out, guys. I just wanted to share this video. I had one more, but I can't find it. I'll have to do this one instead. Well, this one I want to show too. Here we go. This has to do with the EPA and our food supply and herbicide. And this is ridiculous that we're still talking about this. And Trump
up in and do what they need to do right now, get it off the market. Look, this, we've said so many times, this is the most dysfunctional. And it's not just that, look.
Patience is a virtue. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure why they're doing this. Let me, it's locked up. Let me try it again. Yeah, under Trump, altering science, warp speed. Yep. The Orange Man, T-Man himself. Yeah, hurrah, hooray. Hopium garbage. Come on, guys. Come on, screw tube. Okay, at least it's moving now. Wow. One in a lifetime shot. Did you see that? Wow. And it is a target. CARE can't wait. Since when did our country
Imagine a
start
diabetes
caring?
solution so powerful it could help you reverse it
Since when did your government start
in just
caring?
4 weeks. That's what Alison, a 49-year-old mother, was able to do using this new diabetes program that only 3% of people even know about. And John, a
62-year-old
guys. Who was ready
to lose his leg until he tried this method. If you suffer from type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, this discovery could save your life.
Wow, wow, wow. Here we go again. They don't want me to touch on this or something? What's the big deal? Ring of fire. EPA has been altering dangerous herbicide data. Imagine that. DC politicians, the clowns in charge, bowing down to Big Pharma because they're getting paid to play. It's called Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Oh, man. I want to play the rest of this video. See? I'm sorry, guys, but this is the way that it is when you watch truth channels that want to show you too much truth.
The EPA
is ridiculous.
They've been altering the data about how dangerous the pesticide dicamba is for human beings, but they won't jump in and do what they need to do right now, get it off the market.
Yeah.
Look, this, we've said so many times, this is the most dysfunctional, and it's not just that, look,
Look at that. It did it in the same spot of the video again. Oh my gosh. Dicambia is the word that's setting off the AI, which I shouldn't have said it, but hey, it just did, I guess. I don't know. I mean, why did this pause in the same spot of the video? Okay. I just want everybody.
Dicamba and Roundup were both, I mean, it was Obama, it was the guy before Obama, it was this administration. So, I mean, it's not just, you can't pin this down and saying this is a Republican or Democrat issue. The chemical industry owns Congress. They absolutely own Congress. Lay this story out for us.
Yeah, you know, just to build on that too, I think it goes back to, at least that we know of, George H.W. Bush administration. Then everybody after him did the same thing. But right now, the scientists, the actual real people who understand what they're doing at the EPA, to the wayside in favor of the industry's own words, you know, their own reports. We're not going to let that happen anymore. But in the meantime, this dicamba, 3 different kinds of it, I think, on the market, is going out there, being sprayed all over and causing horrific cancers in people all over the country.
Well, for example, the Roundup, this is actually, let me tell you the story behind the story. This dicamba was the one that they were going to use. Monsanto was going to use dicamba to begin with. And they concluded that it was too dangerous. So they come out with Roundup. And understand, they're concluding there's such big problems with it, we got to go to Roundup. Roundup causes non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, causes neurological disease, causes cancer. I mean, the EPA is almost a useless entity. I almost don't want to say almost. They are a useless entity. I had to go to war with them up in the Ohio River Valley about C8. They've done nothing to help that. It is completely, utterly a useless. We may as well not even spend the money on that agency.
Well, and you know, the scientists out there have actually said dicamba and glyphosate, Roundup, there's really not a whole world of difference between the two.
No, there's not.
And dicamba is also linked to these DNA mutations. I mean, we're talking about actually altering who a person is really at this point. Horrific cancers, and the EPA says, we're sorry we covered it up for so long, but we swear we won't do it
Three-headed
anymore.
frogs.
Right.
Drug companies are using the profits from their outrageously inflated drug prices to fund ads attacking a bill that would get drug prices under control. Spending a ton of money here, man. They've never spent $450 million in this. I mean, this kind of money going out right now, so they can jack up prices on things like cancer drugs that are need to live. And they've gone to 82% on a cancer drug just in the last year.
Yeah, they have. And then, of course, you have, one of the big ones, one of the blockbuster drugs is Humira.
Right.
You can't turn on cable TV without seeing an ad for Humira. They've raised the price on that over the last couple of years, 27 different times by 470%. And they made so much money off that the executives at AbbVie, who raised the price on it, they made $480 million is what they gave themselves while screwing over consumers. A yearly dose of Humira is $77,000 here in the United States.
Wow. Okay. So in order just to live, though, with this cancer drug, it used to cost $18,000 for a year. Now it's gone up to $242,000 just to stay alive.
And that's from
these guys and the executives have pocketed $480 million just by raising the price on that drug.
And when they're not putting this money back into their own pockets, they're funneling it to corporations in the form of direct donations or paying their high-priced lobbyists to go out there and attack any politician that doesn't want these same companies to go out there and price gouge consumers. And that's what's happening now.
You know what really, I didn't quite understand this. I hope it's not true, but it looks like Bernie says, let's negotiate with these mega corporations and see if they'll work with us. My answer is you can't negotiate with sociopaths. They're absolutely sociopaths, Farron. I'm across the table with them all the time. And this guy in another life would be dangerous. He's dangerous in this life because he's killing people. Anyway, nothing really changes in the drug market, does it?
No, absolutely not. And I think we're beyond negotiating with these individuals. I don't even think that should be an offer on the table. They've had decades to get this under control. They've seen the public outrage, the death toll. They've refused. So at this point, take it over and make it happen.
Again, it's not a Republican issue. It's not a Democrat issue. It is both parties that bow down to this industry every time the issue comes up.
And that's truth right there. This has been going on for decades, just lining their pockets. When's it going to end? Blatantly getting away with it. I mean, I just don't even understand. I don't even understand it. You feed our whole population poison. They get away with it. How do we allow this to happen? You really need to take hold of our life force and our reality. And this is just beyond hypocrisy and tyranny, the fullest level. And I believe that humanity is on the brink of a lot. So thank you guys in the chat, my mods. Thank you for keeping me feeling loved by coming and listening to what I have to say. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll talk soon. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys again on this my other channel here. So take care, Zoo and Debbie. We'll talk to you guys all soon. And yeah, may the force be with us. Let's fight these evil ones to